Thank you for joining this video, taking some time out of your day or your evening, whichever time you're watching it, to learn a little bit more about us. The company is Final Expense Services. My name is Ben Bowman. I'm the owner and president here. Wanted to make this video for anyone that has heard about us or finds us online somewhere and wants a little more information. We want to give you a transparent peek behind the curtains of what we offer. We have several different programs that people ask about a lot. And having multiple programs like that, it causes agents to have more questions. So really just a video to give you some in-depth knowledge on who we are, allow you to write down questions at your own pace, and then at the end of the video it'll tell you how to reach out and get a conversation set up. So I don't want anyone thinking that this video was made in an attempt to put this out there. People watch this video and then they just sign up with us and we can go golfing every day or go fishing. We definitely still want to have a conversation with you, but it makes the process a little easier for us and also for you. We don't have to explain every little detail on a phone call, but also you've already got an idea of it, so you can think and write down the questions that pertain to your situation. So we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off. We get asked a lot of the same questions, so I wanted to cover some of those here. We're not a captive organization. Our agents are paid directly by the carrier, so our agents get paid in 24 to 48 hours of the time the policy is issued. Now, keep in mind, with most carriers today and with the e-apps that's out there, you can get an instant decision in the house. And even if the first initial draft is set up for the 3rd of the following month, you still get paid with most of the carriers. I would probably say 9 out of 10 of our carriers pay you on issue instead of paying you on the draft. You're vested day one. So with us, if you write a policy and then quit and you never write another policy, the 10th, 11th, 12th month when that policy pays out, it will pay you. So we don't retain your book for any reason. We have an extensive carrier lineup to choose from. Now, we have a list of carriers that we try to tell agents to write just because they take certain health conditions. They have true Social Security billing, which is crucial. As an agent, no matter who you work with, you want to make sure you're writing carriers that have true Social Security billing. At the time this video is being made, a carrier like Americo or Mutual of Omaha, they don't have Social Security billing. Now, you can pick Social Security draft dates with those carriers, but that isn't the same as the billing. What Social Security billing will do is ties it directly to the time their Social Security goes into their account. So Social Security will pay out at like 12:01 a.m. in most scenarios. The carrier will draft right after that. And that really matters whenever the 3rd falls on a Sunday. Our clients will actually receive their money the Friday before, while a Social Security billing carrier will draft the Friday before. And it just stops them from being able to go to the bank and really beat your insurance premium to the bank, right? They beat you to the bank, they take the money out, and then you get a charge back. You're having to chase that down or outright it. But other than that, we pretty much have every carrier. So if you're in a captive type situation, you decide to come work with us, but your organization will not release you, which we run into a lot of times. We have secondary carriers to find you a good lineup and get you making money. We have multiple programs for an agent to choose from. We will discuss those in just a minute. That's important to us just because we know that when agents call us, the agent I talk to, right now, and then the agent I talk to in 2 hours, they're two completely different agents. Their situations are different, their needs are different. So we have different programs to pretty much fit any agent that has the work ethic. They're coachable. We have a program that can usually fit in some capacity, but also once an agent works with us, who they are when they come to us is not necessarily going to be the same person 6 months from now. So we have different programs for agents to kind of move around as their situation changes. Another thing I just wanted to touch on, this video isn't necessarily for this, but we do offer more than just Final Expense. We get asked a lot, hey, what if I run into somebody who needs a mortgage protection? Yes, we help you with that. What if I run into somebody that needs Medicare? If you're licensed for that, you want to go through that, we have that as well. We have training on it. We have traditional training. We have someone that will help you underwrite and help you close large IULs or annuities. So really we're a full service shop, but our specialty is in the final expense market. The main thing I want everyone to understand as we go through this video and we explain these things, it's very easy for someone to think, hey, I've been told this in the past, right? But I want it said that, we only get paid when the agent gets paid, right? Because of this, we offer a lot of support. We offer services, training for every single agent we come into contact with. We don't just contract you, wish you the best, go get them. We're invested in the success of every agent we bring on board, and that's why these things I'm about to go over, they are real, they are true. It's not just a recruiting pitch. Any leads we discuss, we go through third parties. We have connections with them, have good relationships with them, and a lot of times we use that to negotiate the prices down, but that's the same price we pass on to the agent. And we don't hide any of that. We tell you who the vendors are. You can email them directly. And so we don't make money on the leads. We don't charge you for the training. We don't charge you for anything internally. So the only way we will get paid is if you go out and close a deal. And we are very selective on who we bring on because we want to make sure we can find people that have the work ethic and they will allow us to coach them, mentor, and train them to success. So talk a little bit about services and support. One of the tools we have is called a Lifeline. There's one little image of it on the left, talks about different carriers for each condition. This goes through it several pages, has every carrier, every condition. So if you run into somebody with Lou Gehrig's disease, you can look on here and see who to offer. There's also a tool out there, FEX Toolkit, that can do the same thing for you. And we can help you get set up with that as well if that's what you want to do. We have a discount for that, but you get these tools and you're able to use them, and it has every condition to point you in the right direction. I mostly show this because some people that call us a lot, or you might be watching this video, you might be with an organization like Senior Life or Lincoln Heritage to where you write one carrier. And sometimes you kind of get told through the years of working there that, hey, it's a lot better to write one carrier than it is to have to keep up with all these others. Well, having 5 or 6 carriers in your bag is better for the client, and I just want you to know you'll have the tools and support to make sure that you have what you need in the houses. Next thing is our agent hotline. You get direct access to us while you're with a client. So we have a hotline that when it rings all of the top level manager's phone at the same time. It shows up as agent hotline, so we know there's an agent out there somewhere in a house needing help. The only rule to the agent hotline, you can only call it while you're in the house with someone. So we make sure that we take that call. I will get off the phone call with someone to take the agent hotline call and help you through. Just to give you a little idea of that, some people call that are experienced in the industry, and they call with just a very quick question. That they call in and say, hey, I just want to know, this client has gabapentin, but she doesn't have diabetes, so it's not for diabetic neuropathy. Where can I put this gabapentin? It can be that simple, or it could be, they're refusing to give you their bank account, or they don't really want to do it through the bank, and you're calling into the agent hotline to have someone maybe at a little bit more, that has a little more experience than you, and letting that person overcome that objection for you. It is it's an invaluable tool for agents out there. We have experienced agents that's been selling 8 years in the field, and they still use it on a weekly basis. So it's a great tool. We have the community chat. That's important because this business can be lonely, and you go out there and you have a huge week, you write a lot of production, and who do you get to share that with? Who do you get to talk to about your production? So our community chat, you ding your apps. So when you write an app, you kind of put the little bell symbol, and you put, ding 600 AP, American Amicable or Transamerica or whoever, right? And you put that in the chat. People congratulate you, thumbs up, things like that. But it's also an opportunity to ask questions. Hey, I deliver policies from time to time, but I just wanted to know what is everyone else's thoughts on delivering policies. And then you get to see agents that you've seen, for a long time producing at a high level answer your questions on how they do it. That way you can make adjustments and just learn from others. So it's pretty powerful. The most important tool, in my opinion, is the next topic, which is our morning call. It's every morning at 8 o'clock Central Time, and it goes for 30 minutes. We start the call off with any announcements, if there's anything we need to tell you about, like a training event we got coming up or something like that. And then we get into a training topic. We train for about 10 to 15 minutes on real training. You know, it's, hey, I want to cover these 3 objections that agents run into a lot. Here's how you overcome them. Or here's how you replace a policy that has reduced paid up in it. You know, so it's real training each and every day to kind of get you in the right mindset before you go to your first door. And then after the training on the call, it's about, 7-8 minutes. We let everybody raise their hand and they get to call out their activity from the previous day. Number of presentations, number of applications, total AP. And it's just a fun thing. No one's required to do it. We encourage you to be on it every day, but you can be on it and never raise your hand and call out your numbers. But it's a pretty powerful tool, and you'll find it will make you money because if you're someone that calls your production out, you'll find that you don't want to go home with a 0 because you'll have to call it out the next morning. So sometimes you'll stay out there and get that one additional app or see that one additional house. So it's very, very powerful. And then when it comes to training, some of these things I mentioned are training, right? Like morning call, but we actually have a training portal. A lot of people that has went through it said it's, some of the best training they've ever experienced. This is a very simple business, but what I wanted to design was a couple things. I wanted a training that takes you from the beginning to the end, right? And not just a presentation, how do you organize your leads? How do you do build a CRM? What information do you put in the CRM? How do you effectively door knock? How do you set appointments? How do you build rapport? And it's different people that are industry experts teaching you how they do whatever topic it is they're telling you, but it's in order. It's in 4 segments, and it starts telling you stuff like, final expense basics is the beginning. It just kind of teaches you the basics and gets your mind right around this business. And then it's pre-sale, so it's things that happens before you go to a house, and then it's the sales process when you're in the house, and then it's more advanced training, more in depth on some of the topics in section 4. But the other thing I wanted to make sure happened with the training is understand, anybody can go through a training and read or watch videos or learn, but how much of it did they grasp? How much did they understand? Again, as I said at the beginning of this call, everyone I talk to is a little different. Some train fast, some train slow, some catch on easy, some's got to go through it a couple times. So there's little quizzes and recordings you have to do at the end of each section. And that allows us here internally to see how much of it you grasp and maybe help you make some fine-tune adjustments, right? Because again, we only get paid if you get paid. I want to see you be the best you can be so you can make more money. So not going to really go over that too much, but the training is in depth. It is real training. It's not, hey, we have training, you get signed up, we send you to YouTube and say, look, here's 300 videos, start watching them. Because if you do that, you're not really watching in order. And then also you have no way for your mentor to figure out if you're grasping it and understanding it. So that's very important. Just a little thing here, we have quoting software. Now this image on the left, this is FEX Quotes. We provide this to all agents. I also have a different version, which is FEX Toolkit. If any of you are familiar with that, you can get access to that tool as well as personal preference. You can either use our tools to underwrite or use FEX Toolkit to underwrite. But this software allows an agent to quote multiple carriers in one spot. It's a very convenient way for an agent to be competitive with another product if you're trying to replace or they got a rate from someone else. And this image here kind of give you an example. I'm not real sure when you see this video if you'll be able to see it, but for reference, 65-year-old male, non-tobacco, $10,000 coverage is $53.75 a month with family benefit. And this, some of you watching this video might be independent agents already and you're familiar with this, but I know there's some more captive type scenarios, and this might be new to you, so it's really neat. You get to see it all in one spot. And just to give you an idea, say you're someone on here from a organization to where you only write one carrier, and let's say your client is diabetic on insulin. They have, Plavix. They're taking a blood thinner, Plavix, and they've been taking it for 3 years. And they're also taking gabapentin for diabetic neuropathy. So they're insulin, gabapentin for diabetic neuropathy, and a blood thinner, right? I want you to go figure out what a 65 male non-tobacco for $10,000 would cost with your organization for those conditions, and then reference back with family benefit. That would be level day one coverage at $53.75. So in case you're someone that's like, I'm not sure if I need to move from where I'm at, it's not only looking at what you need, you also have to look at what's best for your client. So just go do this little exercise and see if it makes sense. Another thing, I get asked about this all the time, we have appointment setters. I get asked so many times, is it overseas? It is actually in-house. Before I started making this video, I had to go through the office, shutting a lot of doors and putting a note on the outside of my door saying, please don't come in, I'm recording, because the appointment setters are here. Every single day they're here, setting on site, and they'll set appointments off of your leads. We discount that price for everyone with our organization down to $10 per appointment, unless you're a free lead agent, which we'll talk about later. Now, if you're watching this video and you're like, you know what, I don't really want to work with this guy from Mississippi, I can't understand how he talks, right? But I'm gonna use his appointment setters. At this time, it's only for our agents. It's hard enough to find them, train them, keep them consistent, and look over them each and every day. And so for now, it's just for our agents that work with us. If you decide not to work with us, I'm sorry. But check back in the future, that might change. And again, I said I'd reference it later. Our free lead agents, you use this service at no cost. So appointment setters don't cost you any money. All right, a lot of people ask about leads. We use direct mail for all our programs. Not really gonna get too much into it, but telemarketing leads, a lot of those are overseas services that do not truthfully scrub for DNC, federal and state. They'll tell you they do. Fun exercise, if you bought leads from one of them, email and inform them that you received a TCPA complaint and you need proof that it's TCPA compliant, and they will disappear on you. They'll never respond to you. That's how you can tell it's not TCPA compliant. We had so many agents work with us that was brokers. We don't provide them leads. They just contracted through us. They would go get leads from somewhere. And just last year, we had 6 scenarios where field agents buying telemarketing leads got a TCPA lawsuit, and they lose every time. I know some of you might do it and say, well, it's okay because I don't own the lead company. Well, it will 100% fall on you. At last I checked, there was 38,000 senior litigators. They're professional litigators that get on all of the list. And then these telemarketing companies that don't abide by the DNC list, they'll call. These litigators will pretend like they're a lead. They'll answer the questions. My favorite hobby is sewing and this and that. And then you as the agent call them and they're like, yeah, I guess morning will work. I'll be here at 10 o'clock. And they're just the sweetest old people. You show up, they let you go through your presentation. They make sure that they get the carrier you work for. Then they want to make sure they got the organization you work for. In this scenario, it would be like Final Expense Services. Then they get all your information, and then that's where they let the cat out of the bag, and you're busted. And then they sue you. They sue your organization, which would be us, and then they sue the carrier that you're trying to write. It's a big ordeal. The cheapest one I saw last year, the agent had to pay $25,000. $25,000 out of pocket just for that one call, that one scenario. So because of that, we don't use telemarketing. We have agents that have worked or still work Facebook leads. We don't personally provide them. We can point you to the right direction. There's a lot of vendors out there that sell Facebook leads. The only reason we're not a fan is because, just for a quick reference, if you have 100 agents in an area that decide to go to work, okay, direct mail is the most expensive. That is the most expensive route, and it takes the longest, right? It takes you 4 weeks to get your leads back, whereas with Facebook leads, you can get them in a couple of days. So because of that, about 98% of those 100 agents, 98 of those agents would go the easy route of Facebook, and 2 would go the route of direct mail, right? Well, now you tie that to how many people, seniors on a low income, right? Fixed income, how many of those have Facebook accounts and will become a lead versus how many of them have a mailbox. So what you'll find is about 10% saturation in the market. So you have 98% of the agents working 10% of the pool, and then you have 2% of the agents that get the whole 100% of the pool, okay? Also, what you will find is independent agents, part of being independent, unless you do something like our free lead program we talk about in a minute, if you're an independent agent, you have to pay for your own way, right? So it's easy to go the path of least resistance. Let's buy a $20 Facebook lead instead of a $30 direct mail. Let's get leads in 2 days instead of waiting 4 weeks. So you'll also find when you work Facebook leads, it's a lot more replacing. You will get beat on price sometimes, or just replaced or talked out of a plan. It's a lot more of a battle, whereas direct mail is the lower hanging fruit. If you've never worked direct mail, you'll see that when you work it. Now again, you have to work the right type of direct mail. Some of you on this video might be with an organization and you're like, yeah, that's not my experience with direct mail. I saw people and they had already been seen by 3 other agents. That's why this page is important. We use direct mail for all our programs. We lock down your territory to ensure long-term sustainability. We do not resell your leads after you purchase them, and you get to pick the areas you want. Once you do that, we're going to run sustainability to make sure it's available and a large enough area to keep you leads each and every week. So just to give you an idea, there's organizations that will do an opportunity event in Shreveport, Louisiana. And in this hotel room, they'll have 2,800 people there, and they're pitching all 2,800 people on doing this business. And if all of those people sign up, they'll sign them up. Whereas the event might be in an area to where 100-mile radius around there can't sustain but 7 agents. But they would hire all 2,800 because they don't care, right? Because once an agent gets going, if there's not leads for them, well, look, go talk to friends and family, go to an apartment complex and door knock, just do whatever. And they feel like if they could get all 2,800 of these people to write one app, that's a lot better than getting 7 agents writing, 4 or 5 a week, right? And we're the opposite. We run sustainability, and if it says, hey, this area can sustain 80 leads a week, but you already have, there's already an agent taking 20, so there's 60 left. Then I come to you and say, how many leads are you wanting to work each week? You say 30. I can lock that territory in, and there's only 30 leads left. Now in that area, it would be the data would be divided. So you running your 30 and another agent running 30, y'all would not be working the same data. So y'all would not be crossing paths. Okay, so that's just this page I wanted to put out there because I know there's some people that have worked direct mail with organizations that resell it, or they don't protect your territory, and it's not the same as your own true direct mail system that no one else has touched. All right, now I'm going to talk about our programs. This is the most exciting part. I'm going to go through these and go as quickly as I can, but I want to make sure I at least cover it so you got a good understanding. First one's the Elite program. The Elite program is high contract levels, 110 to 120% starting contract for FE. I just had to type that in because there are some carriers that don't pay out as high of commission, like a family benefit or a life shield, or then there's some that don't even qualify for what I put there, like a guarantee issue company's not paying out 120%. But the core carriers, you're going to fall in that range, and that is for final expense. So if you're someone that's with a mortgage protection type organization and they tell you that you're at 120, but when you really look at it, you're at 120 with one product, most of your other products are 95, that's not us. Your 120, for instance, here would be the products you're writing. That's the final expense level plan, right? It's 120 across the board. If you write a different product, like a term product, for instance, it's usually 10% higher than your 120, right? But the 110 to 120 is true commission on the products you'll be writing every day. If you write some other type product like a term, you'll usually get more. And then there's some products that would pay less. But what you'll be writing each and every week, that's the starting comp. The agent's responsible for their own lead cost, obviously. If you get 120% contract, there's not a lot of room left there. So you're the one buying your leads. You can still utilize our appointment setters for just $10. You just send the leads over, they would call and set on them, and send you over your daily planner each and every day. You'll get access to every service we provide. So our morning calls, our lifelines, all of that stuff you'll get access to. So you're not restricted because you went on the elite program. The elite program is the top tier program in my eyes. And then also we'll match or beat any contract level that you currently have. Now if you call me up and say, hey, I want to come work with you, but I'm at a 140 for FE, I'm gonna need some proof. You're gonna have to show that, because that takes, the carriers won't give that level without you hitting certain production requirements. But if you can show me that you got it, I can match it, because I can send it to the carrier and say, hey, this agent's moving over to work with us because he needs our lead program or whatever the case may be, and he's currently got this level, and they'll know because you're agent with them, right? So, if you do have that level, they'll allow you to keep it. But I wanted to put that in there, and it's not to posture up and say we're the best. It's just, I have to advertise something, so I do the 110 to 120. You can't advertise over street, and I have had people not call me and they're like, oh dude, I got higher comp than you advertised. But come to find out, they got 20 agents and they do 1.5 million a year. Well, they qualify for higher levels. So if you're interested in who we are, don't let the contract level be the reason you don't call us. Next one of my favorites, I would say, but a little tricky to explain, but I'll break it down as easy as possible. The Impact Program, it allows an agent to take a slightly reduced commission level in exchange for reduced direct mail costs. So to kind of jump forward a little bit, our next program is the Free Lead. The program before this was Elite. Elite's high comp, you pay for your leads. Free Leads, lower comp, you don't pay for leads. Impact's the middle, right? So instead of you paying 100% of the lead cost on Elite, or on the Free Lead, I pay 100%, Impact's the middle, we'll both pay a little bit, right? And this program is great for agents that cannot afford to buy the 25 to 35 leads needed each week to have, high production weeks. There's a lot of agents that want to write 5, 6, 7,000 a week consistently, but they're buying 15 direct mail a week. When asked why, that's all they can afford on a consistent basis. So this program's great because if you exchange a little bit of commission to have enough leads to hit that top tier production, I can actually run you illustrations to show you that you make more money on a smaller comp if you get more leads, okay? Now, I'm not the guy out there that says, hey, contract level does not matter, right? In a perfect world, an agent buying 40 leads a week, 120% contracts better than a 90, every day, all day. But what you will find is, usually when someone goes to the higher comp and they're responsible fully on their own leads, they don't buy the amount of leads needed, okay? So if you can get 40 leads on an Impact Program for around the same cost, just say you're paying for 20, right? Then you're in a scenario to where the lower comp can pay you more money because you have twice the activity. You might give up 20 or 30% of your commission in exchange for doubling your production because you have twice as many people to see. In a scenario like that, the Impact Program is great. Impact agents still get access to all of our services and support, and they can utilize our appointment setters as well. And just to give you the levels, you can have 100% contract with us with $22 direct mail leads, 95% contract with $20 direct mail, or 95% with $20 direct mail, 90% with 18, and 85% with 16. People ask all the time, are these new leads? This will be a standing lead order for you. Now, when you call, sometimes we might have leads in-house and they might be aged. We'll tell you that up front and say, hey, we need to put a lead order in for you. You need to start ordering fresh leads, and it'll take a few weeks for them to come back, right? But in the meantime, we got these leads over here that's 9 months old and they're $20, right? It's the full cost. Well, then we would calculate that down and reduce the cost based on the impact. So the leads you would be buying on a weekly ongoing basis would be fresh, exclusive, territory protected direct mail leads. And if you've ever worked direct mail leads, as an independent agent, they're usually $30 to $34 a lead. So if you get them at a reduced cost, it's pretty big. I did this program, designed this program mostly because, as direct mail cost continues to increase, it's getting to a point to where some agents are like, man, I can't pay $32. I can't see myself paying $30 a lead or $32 a lead in some of the tough states. And, that's why I started thinking, I was like, man, I wish I could get it back to the good old days where direct mail was $18 to $24 is about where it was. So I designed this program, because it intrigues a lot of people, and we have a lot of agents very successful in this program. Last program, probably the one a lot of you've been waiting on, the free lead program. 70% contract in exchange for free direct mail leads. Ability to have appointments set using our in-house appointment setters at no cost to you. Ability to move to a different program at any time. So at any time, if you think you're ready to switch to the 85% and pay $16 a lead to get some more comp, feel free. Or you want to go to the elite and get the high comp, feel free. Anytime you want, you're able to switch to that different program. We just can't have you switching back and forth, every couple of weeks. But if you pick a program, you work up, and you want to go to another one, you can. Now, this program does have some restrictions. I would say if the free lead program is the program that has you on this video and it interests you, and that's the one you'd probably want to move forward with, I want you to go to the website you see on the page, but please finish the video first. So go ahead and just write that down. It's finalexpenseservices.com/free. That page will go over it in detail. It would have probably added 30 minutes to this call of me talking about it. And I didn't want, for people that watch this video, some of them might be interested in elite or free. Elite or impact, no sense in them sitting here listening to the free lead pitch, right? So go look at that. But I'll touch on some of the restrictions. Your final expense carriers, you can't have any outside of us. Now, some people's going to go back to page 1 and say, hey, you said you're not captive, right? We're not captive, right? But when it comes to our free lead program, if we're going to set you appointments on free leads, we need the business here. But if you call me and say, look, I have a contract over here for med subs, and I got a contract over here for annuities, but it's not FE, that's fine with me, right? If you have some one-off situation where there's a contract that you can't terminate, but it's set up to where you're not going to write FE with it, we are a little flexible, but I just want to say that, for the most part, you can't, I have had people say this, look, I'm gonna keep my trans move Foresters and this over here with XYZ, and it's at a 115, and I'm gonna leave it over there, and I'm gonna try your program out. And if it's everything you say, then you won't have to worry about it. I'll write all my business with your carriers. Well, I'd like to trust you, right? But I just met you, and I just can't take that risk, especially on this program, because we spend a lot of money. We spend anywhere from $900 to $1,100 per week per agent on their direct mail and their appointments. Okay, so that's a restriction. The other one is not negotiable. This is the number one thing people bring up to me. We spend 30 minutes on the phone only to get to this part. This is not for phone sales, work from home. This is field sales. So if you're somebody that's saying, hey, I'm not leaving my house, I'm gonna work from home, save yourself the trouble. It's not negotiable. We don't offer this for free for in-home sales at all. It just doesn't work on a direct mail program selling over the phone. There might be one out there for you. Just do some research. And this program is very important. I would say it this way. Our agents on the free lead program makes more money than our agents on any of the other programs. And I don't say that trying to talk you into the free lead program. I would rather you go elite. I have no cost. I make my override, everything's good, right? And the reason agents are more successful on this program is because I'm the one in control of your activity, right? So if you're a producer out there doing the work, I know you need people to see, Well, I will buy you enough leads for you to have appointments every day that you'll be in the field. So just play along here and say you was going to be in the field 4 days. Well, traditional agents on the elite program are going to usually buy 20 leads. Okay? Well, you'll have a pretty busy Tuesday, decent busy Wednesday. By Thursday, I mean, you're door knocking a few leads, but your leads are done. Right? But you might write 3,400 and you're all excited. Whereas if you're a free lead agent, I know this, I'll get 40 leads because I want you to have people to see Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and I want you to write 8,500 that week, right? So you have more people to see because I'm in control of making sure you get enough leads, and that's why there's such an increased cost on this program. I'm really force feeding you deposits. You will get deposits on this program if you go to work, and if you call us from inside the homes to let us help you in the beginning and get those deals done. So very, very good program. Again, not for telesales, and you do have the ability to move to a different program. Now, this is a program if you're interested in. We do have to have a conversation. One of the first things I'm going to ask is, did you go to finalexpenseservices.com/free and read that page? Because you're going to ask me questions that's answered on that page. It's a very short page, but I kind of type out some of the questions and answers. Can I do this part-time? Can I do this over the phone? You know, just a lot of the questions that people consistently ask, I answer on that page and kind of give you an in-depth look of this program. So go to that, write that website down, finish this video, it's almost over. This video here is almost over. Go to that website and then reach out to us after that and let us have a conversation. This one this will be short and sweet, but the broker program is very unique. You know, this don't happen a lot. But we do run into agents, have conversations with agents that are happy where they're at. Man, my IMO is my cousin. I've been with him 6 years. He's never done me wrong. But there's times they're like, but look, you know, sometimes I'm running into situations I need this carrier because of these conditions, and he just don't have it. No problem. You can pick that carrier up with us. You get the high contract levels on that carrier, and you write it whenever you see fit, whenever you need it. We won't bug you. We won't pester you. You're free to just write it. So it's good for people that need to, you know, add that extra carrier. They're missing out on some sales, or they're getting replaced because they're writing guarantee issue on people that might could get a graded plan or a level or standard plan with someone else. And then also on the broker program, I mean, you're free to come on board with us in the future. I really see it as it gets your foot in the door with another organization in case something goes wrong with your cousin that you've been working with for 6 years, you and him getting a fight, and you know you're not starting from scratch looking for a new home. You at least have a relationship built with us, and you know, be like, man, you know, I picked up this carrier with this Final Expense Services a year ago. I wrote some business there. You know, they sent me some emails thanking me for my business, but they ain't never done me wrong. They ain't never messed me over. They ain't blew my phone up trying to get me to move to them. So just kind of lets you get to know us and pick up missing carriers, and you know, maybe do business in the future. And we might not, right? But at least you're here in some capacity. Next one, this is one I will say, and it's probably typed on this page. It actually is at the bottom. This is more of a one-on-one conversation, but I at least just wanted to make everyone aware that it's here. We have an agency builder program. If you're currently building an agency, or if you have a desire to build one in the future, this is a neat program. Again, it's too much to really explain here without making this video super long. But we have fresh recruit leads. I can put you in front of, you know, on the phone with people that are unlicensed, and we have a process to get them licensed, or I can put you on the phone with people that are licensed. You know, they might be with a captive type organization. You know, we talk to people all the time. Every day I talk to agents that's at 60 or 70% contract, and they're paying $34 to $43 for direct mail leads that another agent's already worked. You know, it is so easy to talk to those agents and explain to them that they're not in the best situation for themselves and help them into a new home that they can actually have that financial freedom. And we help you with that. We have the tools, the systems, the training calls, everything you need to grow your agency. We do this at a high level. I've grown multiple 7-figure agencies, like help people grow 7-figure agencies. And I've designed the system to allow us to do that. We provide capital to agencies if needed. If you're listening to this and you have an agency, just anything you can imagine needing, we're willing to get pretty much as creative as we need to get. We've bought into 2 agencies. There's been agencies that's like, look, I need a strategic partner. We buy into that agency. We have attorneys on payroll that do all the paperwork stuff. I have, an accounting firm to do all your financials. You'll get a breakdown every month of here's how much money you brought in on every agent. Here's all the expenses you spent. And that way you get a real snapshot of your business. And also it gets you to take some chips off the table, put some money in your pocket, but still have ownership of your agency and still control your agency. So again, it's not something I can sell you on or talk to you about on this right here. But it would need to be a one-on-one conversation if that's you. I don't care if you got an agency doing $40,000 a month. We'd be willing to talk about a partnership, get you higher levels, get you our levels, and then show you how to grow that agency. So very neat. If that's you, make sure we have a one-on-one conversation. And then last thing, what's next? If any of this is an interest to you, we need to have a one-on-one conversation, not just the agency building part. If any of it, if you're looking at Elite or broker or whatever, we need to make sure you're a good fit for us. We're pretty selective, but I wanted you to at least start this off by knowing who we are. We're showing you our hand first. This is us. Now, if you're interested, you got to reach out and we'll talk to you and see if you're a fit. If you're looking at the free lead program, go to followexpenseservices.com/free. Before you close this video, make sure you write down my email at the bottom of the screen if you don't already have it. And then at this point, reach out to whoever sent you to this page. If Cole McCoy or Eddie or Jeremy Brown, if anybody sent you to this page, reach out to them and continue the conversation, right? If you reach out to me, then I'm gonna find out, you went there from them, then I got to talk to you, then I got to pass you to them. It's just kind of a workaround. Reach back out to whoever sent you. If you just got a marketing email or you saw us online or social media, you just stumbled upon us, you can use the email at the bottom. Email me directly, ben@finalexpenseservices.com. When you email me, put your name, right? Because everybody's email don't have their name in it sometimes. Your city and state. I just need to know where you live. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to Joe from Shreveport, Louisiana. And then your program of interest. If you're undecided, that's fine. But program of interest would be great. That way I kind of know where to start with you. And then all I'll do is I'll call you. If you're not available when I call you, I'll leave you a voicemail, wait on you to call back. It's very laid back. Again, I'm transparent. I don't push you. One of my weaknesses is I tell it like it is. I'll tell you the truth. But we can at least have a confidential conversation, see if it's something we both want to move forward with. And, again, we would love the opportunity to talk to you, hopefully work with you. Our goal is just to help people make more money, get into a better situation, and hopefully this video explains to you all that, hey, there is a little bit different programs out there. And for some of you, you might be listening to this and saying, hey, where I'm at's way better. Good for you. I hope you make a ton of money. Hope you keep crushing it. If something changes, keep our information saved. But for those of you out there that's like, man, this is the organization I need to work with. We do this every day. I've been doing this over 13 years at the time this video is made. And we will help you with that process. How do you get moved over here? How do you get started? We can help with every aspect of that. So thank you again for listening to me. And we look forward to speaking with you.